Natalie Perez, and I am here doing an interview with the member of the band Stitched Apart on August 9th, 2023.
Woo! Hi.
Way back when, I'd say 2011 was the first time seeing you guys live and also interviewing you that same year. So from that point in time, moving forward, how much has the band changed and evolved, would you say, from then all the way till now?
Wow, 2011. Oh my God. Yeah, that we formed the band in 2010. So that you were right there in the very beginning. We were a hot mess back then. Not too much has changed as far as that goes, but yeah, I mean, I think we've definitely learned so much. We still have a ton to learn. We've been able to play arena tours and huge festivals and just had crazy features and like a lot of really cool stuff. And it's actually kind of nice to actually look back at what has happened and changed since then. But, I think we're a little more grown up.
Having discovering you guys way back when in 2011, uh, I of course listened to the old stuff, the EPs and whatnot, and I noticed compared to the material from 2016 till even the new album, which I've heard a little bit here and there, uh, you guys did change your style and sound. Listening back on those releases, your vocal range is completely different now as it was then. The music has changed a little bit too. To me personally, I think your old stuff was more heavier. You growled more, screamed more as compared to now. Why do you think you switched from the old to the new? Will we see the old you sounding that way anymore? Or that's done?
Oh yeah, no, you're definitely gonna see it. We with the in the album Darkness, I think you're referring to mostly that. That was I was going through a lot vocally, a lot of issues, and like I had to have surgery on my vocal cords. I'm being transparent about that now, just because I feel like I just need to open up about it. And it was really, really challenging. So I was very scared to push myself as much as I was before. And with this record, I think I just got the courage to just say, just to not hold back and to just scream and go crazy on this album. The next song that we're releasing is actually the heaviest we've ever done. So you'll be happy to hear that. So yeah, I was just a little hesitant on pushing myself. And we were kind of being, I guess, guided into directions. And with this new record coming out, we were very much kind of going back to our roots when it came to the heaviness that we enjoy personally.
Mhm. Do you see any of the previous EPs? You had a few of them to receive a re-release, or perhaps I think you had maybe two or three EPs, having all of those taken and thrown together into a new old but new album of all the old stuff, or no, the old stuff we're never seeing it ever again.
I don't know. I don't know. We've talked about it. We've talked about like making like a medley of the songs and playing them live. And we haven't really discussed it at this point, maybe in the future, but I'm not going to say no.
Okay, talking more about the old stuff. Does the band still play any of the old stuff? Like I believe I plan to see you guys in September. I'm hoping I hear This Is the Way We Get to Hell, but I don't think you're gonna throw that in your set list.
Once we get a lot of requests for that song, and I still love that song. That was one of our very first, going out into the world songs. It's just that it was written by a different guitar player, and it doesn't connect with our members as much as it does with the fans that were there back then. Back when you were there, 2011. That's crazy. But I don't know. Not presently. We don't plan to play it live, but it's not out of the conversation. Let's just say that.
Okay. Speaking of live performances, as I mentioned, you are going to be heading out on the road. What does the band have in store for this upcoming tour? Anything you'd like to spoil, or is it all going to be a surprise? Anything from the setup, the songs, merchandise, even whatever you want to throw out there.
We're just really excited to play a lot of these new songs. We have a 25-minute set, so it's about 6 songs. We're splitting it half old, half new. Um, and they're all going to be released, the ones that are out that we're playing live, and it's just they're really heavy and fun. And so I really want to try to get a mosh pit going on one of them, because we've never really been a band to have like legit reasons for a mosh pit. We've never had as heavy of a breakdown as we have with Possess Me, and the next song coming out is definitely mosh worthy. So I'm hoping to see a little circle pit for sure.
This tour will feature you guys opening up for Escape the Fate, and you had recently released a track with their singer called To the Wolves. How did this happen? And can you briefly discuss the song and video? And will we be expecting him to make an appearance live on stage for that duet song live at the shows, or you don't think that would happen?
I don't know, like so our management, we have the same management, Powerline, and with Escape the Fate, and they set us up with the writing session with Kevin Thrasher, who's the guitar player. He's producing with Travis Barker, and he did Machine Gun Kelly and Gwen Stefani's new single. So he's doing really well. So luckily he squeezed us in a couple of days in the studio, and we have 2 songs with him. Then when we got the song written, and it was so fast, never written so fast. Matt McAndrews was also part of it. And then it was like, well, who would be perfect to feature on this? Like Craig. So I asked my manager if he would talk to Craig, and he's like, he just did a whole bunch of features. I doubt he's gonna want to. And then he asked, and he was like, hell yeah. So I was like, oh, sweet. So then he did the feature, and then and then he agreed to the music video as well. And now we're on a tour, and there's a lot being asked of them. So it's like, I am not going to force him into coming up on stage. I might ask for one show, the festival that we're playing together, but I don't want to ask anymore. They've already done like so much for us, if it comes up, obviously I would love that, but I'm not gonna push the boundaries anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to bother them. Hey, leave me alone.
Right? Hey, come and sing the first song for one of the opening bands while you're headlining, and you have other stuff really to attend to, lots of interviews and things like that, so last thing I want to do is make it stressful for them.
Yeah. That track also happens to be the title for the new album. So did the band have any goals that they were aiming for even before the whole process even began for this album?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we were all on the same page with getting heavier, with more breakdowns, more riffs, more screaming. As far as the visual aspect, I have 2 little Pomskis who are pretty much wolves to me. So I did want to kind of dedicate that concept to them. And I do feel like this album is kind of being thrown to the wolves, like we're just kind of throwing it in and just like not playing it safe, and like eat it up if you want. If you don't like it, like just have at me, it's like whatever. We stopped caring about so much about everybody else's opinion, and we just really did what we wanted to do on this record. And I think that it's pretty transparent that with the whole album together, that it's clearly very authentically us.
Did you feel any pressure to follow up to your previous releases when it came down to the new one?
Not so much this album as Darkness. When we released the Never Alone record on Century Media, that was our first full length with the label. It did way better than anybody expected. None of us had planned for radio or anything like that. Just went and took a life of its own, thanks to Octane and their hyper rotation, and Finally Free just went crazy. But then Darkness was the one that we were like, oh my God, we have to follow that up. And that's where I think we kind of like didn't know what to do, and we're trying to take advice and totally lost ourselves a little bit in it. It was a very introspective album because I was going through the vocal cord surgery at the time. And yeah, it was a lot of like in sadness. And this record, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
No, I get it. So does this album have a concept to it? If so, how did that idea come about, and what does it mean as a whole for it?
I wanted to write like we were watching a lot of vampire and werewolf movies. So I really wanted to like pull inspiration from that and kind of try to imagine myself as a vampire. We watched a lot of Underworld. If you can tell, there's a little bit of inspiration visually and like possessed me for that. Um, and I just wanted to be like the one that was out for blood, the vampire or the werewolf that was like going out to just destroy everything. Or like there was one song I was literally in the forest writing. And it's called The Hunting. It'll be on the record full length when it comes out. And I was in the forest writing the lyrics, picturing jumping and attacking all these people that were walking by. I think I scared a few people, but like, what would a wolf think when they're in the forest? And like the little squirrels and stuff, I'm like, pounce, you know. But I just tried to imagine, like, write the story of what the wolf would be uh, doing and moving, and how it would be, fierce and all that stuff.
The band was signed on with another Century Records and now Century Media. So why the change of pace, or is it really the same label? That confused me a little bit.
It's honestly really confusing because we're like pretty much we signed to Century Media,
Yeah.
which moved to another Century, which was the Orchard, and Sony bought the record label. So I don't even know anymore. I'm pretty sure it's the Century Media family though, all in the same umbrella.
Yeah, yeah. Why should people check out the new album once it's out and about?
Um, I just think it's a really fun one. I think it's one to just get pumped up for. I think it's one for a lot of energy, a good gym workout, and just if you like female fronted screaming metal, then you'll like it.
Uh, what else does the band have planned for the remainder of this year? Just touring, and then you got to take a break for the holidays? Anything planned for 2024, or you haven't thought that far ahead yet?
We have thought that far ahead. We really want to go out as on tour as much as possible next year. Our goal right now is to just do this tour. We leave in 3 weeks for that one, and um, probably gonna go out to the merch table again since it's not COVID anymore, and like we can actually go and talk to people in the venue. It's going to be crazy. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing a bunch of people I haven't gotten to see in a long time.
And I'd like to say thanks for doing the interview. Have any last words you want to toss out there to get out of the way?
No, I just really hope that everybody enjoys the music. It comes out September 1st. You can get pre-order it now at stitcheduphart.com.